Are you in a situation where you just don't know what you're going to do? You've just been going through a bunch of stuff and you're having a rough time. What are you going to do about it? Who's going to help you? I want to tell you a little story. You see, there was a man named John the Baptist. And he was killed by the government. Killed. Well, he had a cousin. The cousin's name was Jesus. Now, naturally, Jesus was upset about this. And Jesus, he wanted to get away from people. He just wanted to go off by himself. And maybe he wanted to be sad for a little while. So Jesus heads off. And what happens? Well, the bunch of people find out where he's going. And by the time Jesus gets there, there's this whole group of people there making demands on him again. It's like he can't get a break. He needs some time alone. But all these people are there and they're so needy. Does Jesus say, forget it, leave me alone, I need some time? No. He has compassion on them and he ministers to them. And eventually he sends them away. And then he tells his friends, call them disciples, he says, you know what? Y'all go ahead, get in the boat, go across the sea. I will meet you there later. I'm going to go up in the mountain and pray. I need some time with my Father. And the disciples say, well, okay, if that's what you say, Jesus, that's what we're going to do. So the disciples get in the boat. They take off across the water. Jesus goes up in the mountain. He's up there for a while. He's communing with his Father, which is really the best thing to do when you're in a pickle or when you're feeling sad. Sometimes you just need some time alone with the Father. But then what happens? Jesus, he gets to where he's, okay, I'm good. Thank you, Father. I'm going to go to the disciples. And he takes off and he's walking across the water, just going across the water, gonna meet the disciples, and they see him coming and they're like, it's a ghost. And Jesus is like, no, guys, it's me. And so what does Peter do, He's like, Lord, if it's you, tell me to come to you. And so Jesus just looks at him and he says, come. And Peter's like, all right. And he gets out of the boat. He's a fisherman, remember? He gets out of the boat and he's just walking towards Jesus. And then he looks around. He's like, maybe that wasn't such a good idea. Look at the waves. The waves are huge. I'm a fisherman. I know that when the waves are huge, I'm going down. And he gets scared. I probably would too. I don't fault Peter. He got out of the boat. That was pretty brave. So what does he do? In Matthew 15, starting in verse 30, it says, but when he, Peter, saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately, this is what I want you to see. Immediately, like right then, I can't snap my fingers, so right then, immediately, Jesus stretched forth his hand, caught him, and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? But I want to focus on this word immediately. What does immediately mean? It means right now. As soon as Peter cried out to Jesus, Jesus was there to help him, to save him, to get him back into the boat. Have you ever cried out to Jesus and it just seems like he's ignoring you? Or he's not paying attention? Or he's not there to save you? It says here that Jesus was there immediately to help Peter. Peter didn't have to wait. Jesus didn't say, you know what, Peter, I'm going to let you just sink there for a little while. I'm going to wait. I'm just going to wait here. I'm going to, stand here in the water and on the water, twiddle my thumbs, let you suffer a while. No, that's not what Jesus did. Immediately, right then, Jesus reached out, took him by the hand, and helped him. And he said, oh, you of little faith, why did you doubt? You started to do what I called you to do. I told you to come on the water and you were coming. You were doing good. And then you doubted. But even when you doubted, I'm still there to save you. If Jesus has called you to do something, and maybe you've started to do it, and maybe there's contrary circumstances, and maybe things aren't going so great, and you start to doubt, did Jesus really call me to do this? Is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? If Jesus called you to do something, then he will help you to do the thing that he's called you to do. Don't be a ye of little faith like Peter was. I mean, Peter walked with Jesus, and you may say, well, Peter walked with Jesus and he doubted. Yeah, sometimes it's difficult to continue in that faith, to continue to believe. But don't give up. Don't give up. You know, there was a man who came to Jesus for healing, and he said, I do believe, help thou my unbelief. So if maybe you are doubting a little bit, it's okay if you come to Jesus and say, help my unbelief, because he will. How is he going to help you? Well, one way is through his word, reading his word and seeing all the things that he's done for other people all through the years, Old and New Testament. Jesus has done a lot that's recorded in the book. Well, there's a lot that he's done that's not recorded in the book. So don't give up. Read the word. Listen to people preach the word. You know, somebody that's preaching, maybe your pastor, or maybe even just a friend, excuse me, will have just that one little phrase that just goes off in your mind. Go, oh, I get it. So don't give up. Immediately, Jesus helped Peter. And as soon as you ask him for help, he will help you also. Help is there. It's not coming. Help is there. As close as Jesus was to Peter on the water. So don't give up. Keep going. Keep reaching out to Jesus, and he'll catch you.